Alright guys, just gonna give you a quick update on how things are going. Now, I'll start right here. These are my strawberries. These are an Everbearing variety called Eversweet. And right now I'm just trying to root some runners from the bucket so I can transplant them out into the garden. And over here, I have gojis in buckets. Now originally, the gojis did not do well at all. And surprisingly, I went in, I chopped off the original canes that were growing out, and it's been a couple days, and they've done pretty well so far. They spread out a lot more, and they're looking a lot healthier. They're not pale. So the gojis I grew from seed, and I had quite a few gojis. I gave quite a few away. A lot of people potted them up. I put some direct in the garden to test it out too, and those didn't react well, and I'll show you guys those in a minute. But I did the same thing, and I'm getting some side shoots popping up now, which is good news for me. Over here, these are my comfrey plants. Now the comfrey plants, I got these as crowns, and we're in like a record heat wave here, and the Humidex is pushing like 42 degrees Celsius, so they have gotten a bit floppy, but I've been giving them lots of rainwater and lots of love, and they seem to be liking it. And eventually they'll get transplanted out until their original or final location once I figure out what exactly I want to do with them. These here are my nasturtiums in the pots. These are doing great. They're starting to flower. I got some yellow flowers, some like kind of orangish, reddish flowers, and it's a nice bright red over here. They taste really sweet and kind of spicy. Since the last time I showed you guys the grape, it's grown about 6 inches. It's not in a full sun location, but as you can see, when the days are longer, it gets a lot of sun. And once it pushes up to the canopy, I am going to prune a bit of this back in the winter to kind of release that. But I'm hoping by the end of the season, we'll see this growing up. Alright guys, now I did pick up some Hascaps. This one over here is the Berry Blue, and the one beside it is Borealis. And this soil is very loamy, but it has really no nutrients in it, so I had to amend. And I've been mulching over with lots of dock leaves, which I've been using instead of comfrey until I can get comfrey, and lots of leaf mulch, compost. I'll give you guys a little quick show of the Yastaberry. Now I've been using compost tea. It's my first time trying it, so I added in compost, dock leaves, rhubarb leaves, molasses, fish emulsion, and some King Stropharia spawn, and then I bubbled it for quite some time, probably about 3 days, and prior to that I let it sit for quite a while. And since doing that, all the new growth on here just has extremely glossy leaves. And then I've got a random pumpkin here. Now as far as like the annual stuff, initially I had a lot of annuals. Like this arugula, it all went to bolted. You can still eat it while it bolts. But, they didn't do so well. Except for my ground cherries and my gigantic spaghetti squash. And these borage plants here. I put these in a little bit late, but thankfully it's only about 90 days to maturity, so that's kind of nice. Right behind here is a cutting of a wild gooseberry I found. Stuck it in the ground, seems to be doing fine. But these are just so heavy with fruit that they flop over. I don't know too much about ground cherries. This is my first time growing them. I like the fruit, but I don't know if they're all indeterminate, but I know with indeterminate tomatoes, they prefer vining. These ones, they just actually produce a lot more fruit when they grow like a bush. It's kind of weird. Over here's another giant spaghetti squash. Here's a butterfly weed, a pink flowering variety. Behind that's a fall gold raspberry, which has put on some growth, but it's kind of slowed back. I had to cut down some lower branches on the cane because they were getting eaten by something. Here's a little patch of dill, and here's the cloves currant, which has quite a bit of fruit. This is its first year, and I mean, it's not a huge amount, you know, it's just a small shrub, but there is a lot of fruit on there. There's the hardy bush cherry. It hasn't spread out much. It has grown, but it suffered from a little bit of scorch, but the trunk of it seems to be thickening up quite a bit. And over here, something I'm excited about, and that's my bee balm, and it tastes really good. Next to it, I have this yarrow, great companion plant. There's lots of wild yarrow growing around here. I might even transplant that into the garden eventually, the white yarrow, but I saw this red one and I thought it was really pretty. Now here's the goji. So I popped it in here. Since then we had a big rainfall. I stored some rainwater. I poured it on here. I fed him some compost tea, and then this side shoot popped out of the ground. So I cut back the original shoots, and I'm just gonna let these pop up. And so far it's doing well, and it likes the shade from this sand cherry here. Anyways, guys, just a little update on what's growing on. I have some more ideas in the works. I kind of want to grow something different, which I'm going to try. And I'm going to empty out this pot. And I found lots of water lilies growing by my place. I want to take one out, divide it, put it into the pot, see if I can get some seed from it, because I would just love to have a water lily in a pot on my deck. Maybe some duckweed, maybe get a little fish in there. Water lilies are very beautiful. They flower all summer long. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. Have a good one.